Well, welcome back again to the workshop, and glad you could join me today. And in this episode, I think I mentioned in the last video, I've got a couple of guitar cases that I have in the workshop that need some work. Actually, I have three, but one of them is for that 37 Epiphone that eventually, I keep telling you that, I'm going to get back to that and finish that for you, but that's going to be several videos all on its own because that case is in really bad shape. The two that we're going to look at today, not too bad. One of them, the one I got on the bench for you right now, is not too bad. It's got a broken handle, so I'm going to show you a way to take care of that. And then the other one, the outside, just the vinyl covering has peeled away in places, and I'm going to show you a way that you can deal with that. So without further rambling and all of that, let's just get to it. I'm going to switch your camera angle here so you can see what I'm seeing on the bench. And so here's the issue. You can see the handle is gone here from that case. And what I did is I just jumped on that eBay thing, is I think where this came from, and I ordered this right here. It's well, this is the case for it. This is the handle, and it's one that it's a buckled type handle, so really easy, you would think, just to put this on here. And let me just show you. It's the CP70. I think there's two different ones, CP70 and I think a 72, and the difference is just the color, black or brown. I went with the black to better match this case. Now, in reading the reviews for these things, the one thing that was kind of a negative from a bunch of people was the pivot point where this attaches on to the case, kind of like that is how it goes on. And they've doubled up I won't say this is leather, but they've doubled up the material here to kind of help. But still, a lot of the reviews said that over time this has a tendency to, this part here has a tendency to wear. And so what I'm going to do is I've taken a piece of nylon, and this is a part of a strap, I think, off of an old book bag or a duffel bag or something like that. You could also use, if you have those ratchet straps, those are some pretty tough nylon there. And that's where this came from. And you can see here I've cut a couple of little pieces, and I'm going to use some, I've got here some, let me go here because I don't want to tip this because the lid's off, but I've got some contact cement, and I'm going to use the contact cement. Let me zoom a little bit. There you go. Adjust this camera just a tad for you. And got the nylon here, and I'm going to glue that on the inside of this piece here to reinforce and just help this last a little bit longer. Now, I will give you a little tip. When you cut this nylon, it wants to fray around the edges, so if you just take a lighter and just kind of hit the edge, it melts the nylon, and then it won't fray out on you. And it doesn't take much. You'll see it do its thing there, and then you're good to go. So let me do this other one really quickly. All right, and that's all there is to that, and we're good to go. Let's see, I think I'm going to go back to the overhead for this next part and try to maybe zoom a little bit so you can see. Now, contact cement is exactly, I mean, the name says it all. You put the glue on both pieces, and then once it dries, you put the two pieces together, and it contacts. It even says on the can, it even says permanent bond on contact. So you want to try to get your two surfaces together, because it's going to grab in a hurry. So I'm just going to paint glue, and this won't take much in the way of glue, and I've just got a bristle brush here, and I'm just going to paint some of the contact cement on the nylon side. And I'm actually going to do both pieces here. And you do have to wait for this to fully dry before you can put the pieces together. So I'm going to have to pause you, set this aside, let it dry, and then I think we can maybe move on to the other, trying to eyeball how far down I need to paint glue on here. But I'm going to use this contact cement on the other case as well to do the repair. On the vinyl. So I'm going to bring you along for a little bit of that too. I don't know how much of it I'm going to show, because it is a kind of a time consuming process. So I'll probably show you one section how I'm going to do it, and then bring you back and show you the final product. But with this guy here, as soon as this glue dries, we'll be good to go. Put this handle on, and this case will be back in service. I know a lot of people use gig bags and other things, but man, some of the stuff that I've seen, I think you should have your instruments in a hard shell case just to protect them. That's just my 2 cents. My Taylor came in a bag, get with a gig bag, not a hard shell case, but I've since put it in I carry it in a hard shell case. So I recommend, if you're going to be taking your guitars around and stuff, you need to put them in a case so they're protected, because you never know when something will happen. And I don't know about you, but I don't want any of my guitars hitting the ground, so that's just going to do lots of damage. So anyway, I need to take a break and let this glue dry for about 15 minutes or so, and then I will be right back with you. Okay, welcome back. The glue has had time to set up, and what I'm going to try to do here is hopefully so you can kind of see what I'm doing. Maybe got the glue on this part and then the glue on this part, so the glue's on that side, so I need to flip it, put it down, and hopefully it's going to stick on contact, no problem. And then I'm gonna just got this little hammer here, and I'm just gonna tap it. If there's any air gap or anything, that will take care of that. So that's got that side glued, and let's do the same thing on the other side here. Again, it's contact cement, so as soon as this thing makes contact, it's on there. So you want to make sure you try to place it. Whoop, I don't even have you on the camera. I apologize for that. So, and let me see if I can bring that up there and show you what I did. You can see that piece of nylon on the bottom there. All right, let me, the case here, zoom back just a touch maybe. There we go. That hammer out of the way for now, don't need that. And let's this guy on here. And this is just a matter of tightening the strap here, or putting the straps on, and should be good to go. So that piece of nylon should really reinforce that area so it doesn't, the material doesn't wear. The pleather, I'm assuming it's not actual leather, but double check that the nylon's riding where it needs to. It looks good. Looks good, looks good. Give you a different angle of it here. There you go. See that? And that's on there solid. It's not going anywhere. Should last for a long time. So there's that guy. I'm going to zoom you back out there. And there you go. So that's taken care of. One down. It's one case down. Let me move it over out of the way. And see if I can get you a shot of this guy. And I know if you just look from, well, get you on the right camera. If you just look from this side, you'd think, wow, that doesn't look bad at all. And if I were to open the case and let you look inside, it's really pristine almost inside. I mean, it's the carpet and the padding and all of that is just great. No problems there at all. But if I turn it this way, now you start to see some of the issues that going on here. So yeah, it's in kind of bad shape actually. And again, I'm going to use just the contact cement on this, and probably use, let's see, probably use a little bigger brush this time since I have a bigger area, but I'm still going to use a bristle brush here. And we have to get both sides, so I'm going to have to figure out a way to hold this back, I think. But yeah, it's just a matter of painting the glue. Nope. Got a little bit on the case there. Let me wipe that off. There we go. And again, both surfaces. Then we have to let it dry, so cover both of the surfaces there. Alright, I think I got both surfaces covered. Little spot right there looked like I didn't get very well, but okay, that looks better. Looks like I got both surfaces pretty well. Now we just need to let that dry. And it says dries in 15 to 20 minutes. So I gave the other 15, so that's what I'm going to do with this. So let me pause you. I'm going to wait about 15 or so, and I'll be right back with you, and we'll see how this does. Okay, welcome back. I'm going to try to finish up this one little section here for you, and then I'm going to do the rest of it off camera, and then I'll bring you back. So let's switch back. Here we go. I just had that laying up there to kind of keep it from falling back on itself. Let's see if we can kind of work this. I'd kind of like for it to lay flat if it will, so yeah. Again, I'm not going for perfection here, so and this is the bottom side because it's got these feet on it, so I'm going to just kind of work my way out like so. Work all the bubbles out, and that should take care of that. It's got a little crease that you can see right here, but again, it's kind of where it pulled back and it was folded over, but that, yeah, I'd have to pull really hard to get that apart. I think that's just really, really good on that part there. So I've got a section to do up here, you can see, and it's actually torn here, so there'll be an open. Even when I get this done, there'll be a missing spot here. But yeah, I got a section here. I need to finish around the edge here. And really the side, this one side, can you see that? I can get my hand down in there. So that one side there has to be done. And then get that edge folded over like that. So that's why I didn't do this edge when I did the rest of the back, because I need to get the side done first. So I'm going to go ahead and do that off camera here. I just don't want a lot of this loose stuff hanging around. So I'm going to stop the camera again, and I'm going to just paint the glue on a bunch of these other sections, work them back together, and I will bring you back and kind of, yep, this one's, the side is kind of lifted as well, so you can see how it's separated there. So let me work on this, and I'll bring you back and show you how I ended up. Alright, welcome back, and like I said, I took a break and did because there was lots of lifted material and all of that on this case. So I spent some time on here and got that all glued down. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to switch to the handheld camera here and going to kind of give you a view of the case. Again, it's not perfect, but it's way better than it was. It doesn't have all the vinyl separated from the case and hanging off and all that. So it's a lot better than it was, and the case is definitely usable. I'll show you the inside of the case as well. So let me switch over to the other camera, and I'll try to do that without bouncing you around too much. So here we go, and we'll close out this video. Let me apologize, I'm going to move you around a little bit there. Alright, got your hand held, and kind of show you some areas that I worked here, so you can see. Again, it's definitely not it's not perfect, but it's all glued back down. I did have to take some of these screws out. These are just for the compartment on the inside and all of that. But you remember, this was all, this section here was all lifted back. I could peel it back like that. This part of the back of the case was all peeled up and all of that, and it's now re-glued. Again, the fabric was actually ripped here, so nothing I can do about that. And it's scraped. I mean, this thing's been pretty well used. There's scrapes and all kinds of stuff, but listen, it's back to the point where I don't have to worry about it getting torn up worse than it already was. Let me show you the inside, because the inside is actually really nice. Needs to be cleaned out a little bit, but you can see none of the material is messed up in here, none of the padding. It's just very well, and it's very well padded, carpeted, all of that. Here's that compartment on the inside with these screws. But yeah, the inside is really pristine on this thing. There's nothing wrong with the inside, and you know, that's the extremely important part anyway. So then you can see impression here. I mean, there's been guitar stored in this thing. So but yeah, not too bad. Just kind of hopefully give you some ideas. If you have a case that's kind of, this is starting to peel off, you can use contact cement and get that going again. And then remember the other case, this is the other one that I did with the handle. So and remember, I used a piece of the nylon there to reinforce the pivot point there. But that, get those two cases back in working order, and we should be good to go with them. So again, this one was given to me. The other one belonged to me and the handle broke, so I was glad to get that one fixed. And then this one here was given to me by someone who was, because of the condition of the outside, was actually going to throw it away. So kind of glad they didn't do that and that they called me, and I end up grabbing it. So I hope this video has been helpful to you, and I'm going to let you go, and I will see you next time in the workshop.